What's up guys, welcome to video number 2. So in this video we're working on the models of our e-commerce site. In the previous video we worked on the templates. So in this video we are going to start on the models. So without further ado, we are getting started right now. Okay, so now we are in our models.py file. We are going to create 5 model classes. The first one is the customer, the second one is the product, the cart items, and the shipping address models. So now let's go create these models now. So I'm going to create the first model called customer. So I'm going to say class customer. So I'm going to image from models.model. But before I do that, I'm going to import Django user. That Django default user should be models.model. I'm going to import the Django default user. I'm going to say from Django.contrib.models. Let's say .auth.models import user. So yeah, we're going to import this Django user. So now we're going to create, for the first attribute of our customer class, we're going to call it user. I'm going to simply say user is going to be equal to models dot one-to-one field. So you're going to be relating to this user we just imported here. So I'm going to say models dot one-to-one field user. So I'm going to also say that on delete. So if I delete so what this one-to-one field does is that a user can only have one customer and a customer can only have one user. That's the one-to-one field. So now I'm going to say on delete. So if I delete a particular user, I want the customer related to it to be also deleted. So if I delete a user, the customer related to that user will also be deleted. That's what I want to do now. On delete should be equal to models dot cascade. So that's it now. So I'm going to create a name attribute for our user. I'm going to simply say name should be equal to models dot character field. So I'm going to give it a max length of, let's say, 50. I'm going to do the email field also. So change this to email field. Email field. Let's say there's only this. So now I'm going to create the product model. So change this to email. So let's create the product model. So let's do that now. I'm going to say class of products. So you're going to also inherit from models.model. So the first one is the name of our product. It's going to be equal to this, let's say, same character field. Okay, now I'm going to give it a price. Move this name equal to. So I'm going to give it a price of models.integer field, understand? Models.integer field. Or integer field. And our product also have an image, understand? I'm going to say image. For now, I'm going to simply, let's say image should be equal to models.image field. So that's it. Okay, so now we're going to create another model called cats. Like the cat, where we're going to put in the goods instead. I'm going to call it cats. I'm going to also say models.model. And now we are going to relate this cart to the customer model. You understand? The customer is one buying the product, and they're going to put their product in a cart. Understand? So a customer can have several carts. So I'm going to connect this cart to the customer model using the foreign key. So I'm going to simply say customer should be equal to models dot foreign key. The foreign key is used for a many to one relationship. Like the one here is the customer and the many is the cat. Like a customer can have several cats. Understand? And a particular cat cannot belong to several customers. Understand? Just a customer to one, a customer to many cats. So I'm going to say models of foreign key. I'm going to connect to the customer model. So now if you delete a particular customer, we want to also delete their cat. So I'm going to also say on delete should be equal to models.cascade. Cascade. So now we're also going to give our cards an ID. We want to give the cards an ID. You're going to say cards ID should be equal to models.uuid field, models.uuid field. Yes, so I'm going to import UUID. Just simply say import UUID. So yes, after doing that, I'm going to say model.uuid field. I'm going to give it a default. It's going to say default should be equal to UUID. Oh, what am I typing? UUID dot UUID4. I'm going to give the unique should be equal to true, and editable should be false. It should not be able to be edited. Editable should be false. So I'm not going to sit in our admin section. So now we're also going to give our cards an attribute of completed. Like if a card is completed, that means the customer has really bought the goods. So that means the customer has paid. If the card is completed, we're going to give it a we're going to give it a boolean field. It's going to be completed should be equal to models dot boolean field should be equal to the default should be false. For example, if the cart is not completed, it means that the customer has not checked out. The customer is still shopping, putting more items to his cart. So we're going to be the default of false. That means the customer is still shopping. So now we're going to create another model called cart items. This refers to the items that are going to be, this refers to the items that will be inside the cart items. Going to be equal to models dot model. So we are going to relate it to this cards we created here. Like a particular card can have several cards items. We're going to say cards should be equal to models. Let's copy this. Just copy this and paste here. So models of foreign key cards. Okay, I'm going to get another attribute called. So we'll get another attribute called products. Understand? So we're going to also be it's going to also be a foreign key. Like a product can have several of itself in a cart. You understand? I'm going to say product should be equal. Product is going to be equal to the same foreign key. So I'm going to paste that. Oh no. Oh, product to be equal to this foreign key. Something similar to this. Don't you see? Paste that here. I'm going to say models of foreign key. Cards. Models of foreign key products. So yes, analytical models is cascade. I'm going to give the cart item the quantity attribute. I'm going to give it the quantity. So I'm going to say quantity should be equal to models dot quantity dot integer field rather. Default should be 0. So now I'm going to create our shipping address model. I'm going to say class should be equal to shipping address. I'm going to say models dot model. Okay, so I'm going to spell my address properly. This should be there. Okay, now our address is going to have the customer field, the cart field. So we're going to simply say customer should be equal to models.foreign key. So I can simply copy this here. So I'm going to say models.foreign key. So I'm going to relate to it because the customer model. Okay, now we're going to create the cart model, the cart attributes here. We're going to relate this to a cart model we created. Understand? For example, a customer can have different addresses he wants to send the goods to. Understand? So, and a cart can also have different addresses. So, we are going to say the same thing. We're going to simply say to the cart on delete model as cascade. Yes, we're going to create four more attributes called the first one should be called address. Should be equal to, so we're going to simply say model as character field. Just char field. We're going to simply say max length should be equal to 100. The same thing for the. I'm gonna copy this now for our zip code, the city, and the state. So I'm gonna copy, change this to, let's call this city, call this states, and zip code. So that's all for now. So now if you come, I'm gonna get down to my products class. So you can see my products class here. I have an image field. This image field helps to serve items, helps to serve these images we have on the screen, because these images are coming from the back end. You understand? So now those images we have on the screen now are coming from the back end. So we need to do some configurations in the settings of Pi for where they are going to be stored. Our projects. We need to write where they are going to be stored. And before you can use image field in Django, you must make sure you have Pillow installed. Pillow is a Python package that helps to serve images in Django. So just go down to your terminal. Let me show you how to do this. Go down to your terminal right here and simply run this command pip install pillow. If you don't have it, just make sure this command pip install pillow is going to get it installed on your computer so you can work with images on your Django project. So now I'm going to get down to settings of Pi. Then I'm going to make the configurations for our image upload. You understand? So now I'm going to get down to settings of Pi, which is here. No settings of Pi. So now I'm going to create an image root. So I'm going to do some stuff here. So what I want to do is that I want to save my images to this static folder we have here. And inside the static folder, I want to make sure the images are inside of this image folder. Understand? So I'm going to create a media root now. I'm going to simply say media root, media underscore root. So the media root is going to point to this static folder and then the image folder we have here. So I'm going to simply say media should be equal to base there. This is the base Django base directory, base there. Yeah, slash. I'm going to say static, then image. You understand? That's it now. So now what I'm gonna do next now, I'm gonna also create a media URL. Just so we have static URL, I'm gonna create a media URL. So I'm gonna say media URL should be equal to image. Where our image will be placed, which should be equal to image. So that is what we have to do now. So we're gonna go down to our URLs.py file for the Django project, not for the app, for the Django project. So open it now. So now we're going to finish the configurations here. So we're going to add this pattern to the current URL patterns we have. We're going to say URL patterns plus equal to static open bracket settings dot media URL. We're going to say comma and we're going to simply say document truths should be equal to media roots. It's not just media roots, but settings.media roots, as we asked for the first one. Settings dot media roots. So that's it now. So now we're going to, as you can see, we're having this error sign on static and settings. So we're going to import both static and setting. We're going to simply say from from Django.conf import settings, and from Django.conf.urls.static import static. So that's it now. You can see the errors have disappeared. So now we're going to make migrations. Now I'm going to simply say Python manage.py make migrations. So we want to send this into our database. We want to send our models. We want to create a database table for what we've just done in our models.py. So I'm going to go through my models, make sure there's no mistake of any kind to avoid any form of error that might pop up. I think the models is good. We are good to go now. Okay, I forgot. We should create a string value. We're gonna say def underscore underscore str underscore underscore self. We're gonna return self dot name for the first one. So we're gonna copy this for our difference. Control C. We're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna return the name value for our product in our admin section. Okay, after that now we're gonna do the same thing here. Paste it here. I want to return the what we want to return is the ID of the card. So I'm going to say self.id, the ID of our cards, but I'm going to convert it to a string because it needs string value. ID is an integer, str. So now I'm going to do the same thing for our card items. I'm going to return the product's name. So return products, return self.products dot name. The same thing for our shipping address. I'm going to return the address. Control V and self dot address. So save your work now. I think I can run migrations now. We're going to simply say Python manage .py make migrations. An error occurred. It says the media URL setting must end with a slash. That's true. I forgot that. Settings.py. You're right. It must have both this. It should have both forward and must have these two forward slashes at the end and the beginning. So save now and run migrations again. Run migrations again. Python manage.py make migrations. Okay, let's migrate now. Python oh, manage.py migrate. So everything is migrating. So okay, we're gonna wait and this is done. Okay, we are done with the migration now. So we want to create a super user. I'm gonna simply say Python manage.py create create I can't spell create again. Create super user. Okay, I'm going to call this Clint. Email address Clint. Let's say clean at gmail.com. Put in my password. And yes. Okay, super user created successfully. We're going to run the server again. Run.py. Run server 8001. Okay, our server is up and running again. All we need to do now is let's get down to the browse to the admin section. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna say want to change that to one and admin. Enter. So our admin is up and running now. I'm gonna put in the password. So login. Okay, we are in the admin section. Oh, I made this mistake again. We don't have the models here. That's because it has not been registered in the admin.py file. So let's go there. Let's go to the admin.py file and make sure we register our models there. Sorry for this mistake I made. I should have remembered this. So this is the admin.py file. So over here now we are going to register each models we created. So I'm going to import all the model classes I have here. So I'm going to simply say from dot models. These dots refers to our app called store. You understand? Because the models.py and the admin.py are in the same directory. So I'm referring to this directory as dots. So these dots means that they are from the same directory. So I'm going to simply say dot. Now from saying from store dot models, I will simply say dot. I'm going to say from dot models import all the classes. I'll just simply say this star sign. It's going to import all the classes you have in the models.py file. So I'm going to register each of them here. I'm going to simply do this admin dot site dot register. Okay, I'm going to register the first model called customer. So I'm going to do this for the remaining four models. So I'm going to change this to products. Change this to the carts. These to the cart items and to the shipping address. So save your work now. Get down to the models now, to the browser, refresh. And we have the models now in the admin section. So what I want to do now is I want to create some product and render on our store page. You understand? I want to do some product. So I'm going to go down to the products model, click on products. Okay, add products. So I'm going to add the first products and leave you to add remaining 5. We have 6 on the page. So I'm going to add the first product and leave you to add the remaining 5. So I'm going to browse the image first. So I have the image in my document folder. So I'm going to look for that image. Oh, okay. I've seen shirt. I'm going to put in shirt. Open. So I'm going to put the name as t-shirt. T-shirt. The price as this should be. I'm going to say $11.05. This should be a float field. I gave it integer field. So I'm going to correct that in the models.py now. So I'll save this. Save. You can see an error popped up now because it's saying it should be a whole number. So I should go down. I'm gonna go down to my models.py file now and change the products. What is it called again? The price on the products. It should be a float field, right? So I'm gonna simply say floats. I'm going to put the default of, let's say, 10.5, 10.55. So that's it. So save now. We're going to run migrations again. I'm going to simply say Python manage spy make migrations. I'm going to simply Python manage spy migrate. And after this now we're going to run server again, Python manage spy run server 8001. So that's it now. So check the browser again now. So if you refresh this page, enter, you can see our cheat set has been added successfully. Our cheat set has been added. So I'm going to create one more. I'm going to create one more product for you now. So let's add one more. Because we have the default price of $10.55. So I'm going to add. Let's say what I'm going to add next. I'm going to add the. Should I add? I need to add something else. Okay, I'm going to add the green shoe. Open, and I'm going to call this green shoe. I'm going to give it, okay, let's leave it at, let's say 12.55 and save and add another. Okay, I'll leave it to add the remaining 4 products. So do that. I'm going to pause the video as I add the remaining 4 products. So now I've saved my own 6 products on the page now on the admin section. So I'm going to render these products on our views now. So let's go render it on the views.py. Views.py file. So now we're going to import our products model into the views.py. We're going to say from .models import products. Okay, now so I'm gonna simply do this right here. I'm gonna say products should be equal to, I'm gonna put a variable called products equal to products dot objects dot all. So I want to render all the products you have in our admin on the templates. So I'm going to pass this product in our context dictionary. Yeah. Simply say products points to the products we have there. So we are saving this now. So we're going to open our store.html file. Here is it. Okay, we are in the store.html right now. Maybe I have to reduce the font size. So now we're on the store.html now. We can see I have this.html is what produces what we have here. We have 6 static items. So I'm going to only need one item, just one box. My for loop I'm going to generate is going to generate the remaining items I need. Understand? So I'm only need one. I'm going to remove the remaining 5 and leave one. Understand? So I'm going to start now. So I'm going to remove this. Okay. Remove this. I will need only one. Remove this. Remove this and this. So now I will need just this one here. So I'm going to run a simple. I'm going to run a for loop. I'm going to say for products. You can call this any name you like. For products in products we have. This product I'm referring to is what we have here. Is this product that we have here? Understand? This product points to this products here. Understand? So I'm going to say for products in my store.html. For products in products. Okay, I'm going to end the for loop here. And for. So now I'm going to put in name. I'm going to put in our image here. I'm going to say product.image. Products.image dot URL. Images must always have dot URL appended to the attributes dot URL. So now I'm going to put the name of our. I'm going to put in our product's name here. Simply say products dot name. Over here, products dot price. That's it now. So save your work and let's go down. We are going to extract to the templates and let's see how this turns out. So let's see how it turns out. So simply refresh the page. Nice. You can see now we are having data from the backend. Now we're having the data rendered out with the images, just the way we have in the already created one we've done before. Understand? So now we have been able to work on this. We have been able to work on the store page. So now let's go work on the cart page. I'm going to go down to /cart. /cart. So I want to come this page now. I want to render out dynamic data on this page, not this dummy data we have here. So what I'm going to do is this now. I'm going to go down to my admin panel, understand, and add items to my carts manually. So I want to show you guys something. So I'm going to go down to the admin panel now and add some items to the carts manually. So now let's do that right now. So I'm going to create a cart. I'm going to create a cart now. I want to show you guys some things here. So now add carts. Okay, so this is it now. So I'm going to create the cards for the current customer that is logged in. But before I create a card, I need to create a customer first. I'm sure I'll explain all this I'm doing now. I'm going to create a customer. So add customer. So the customer user should be for the this Clint refers to the current logged in user. Clint. Understand? So user Clint, I'm going to give you the name of Clinton. Email should be one I gave in the admin section, which is clean at gmail.com. So I'm gonna save this. Okay, so I can create a cart. So I'm showing you, I'm doing this manually. I want you to explain something. So I'm going to create a cart now. Logged in customer, which is Clinton. Understand? So this completed will be left as false because the customer has not checked out yet. So I'm going to save this. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create some cart items for the carts. I'm going to place some items inside our carts. Now, so go down to cart items model. So add cart item. I'm going to add about 2 or 3 cart items now. So I'm going to do is this now. I'm going to specify my cart, which is this one I just created. Understand? I refer to it from here, from my model.py, the one you are seeing there. Model.py open. So now I can see. I'm going to scroll down to my carts. You can see my cart now. What is showing? That one that is showing whenever, if I click on my cart now, you be seeing one. The one is coming from this point. I'm trying to render out the ID of my cards. Understand? The first card I created has an ID of 1, so that's the one you are seeing. Set.id, that's the ID of the cards. So now I'm going to create some card items. I said now I'm going to add card items for our just created cards, which is this one. Okay, I'm going to add some products now. I'm going to add the t-shirts quantity to save another. So I'm going to add another cards. I'm going to, for these same cards, I'm going to add the hamburger quantity to, well, let's say 1. Okay, I'm going to add one more for the same cards. Add the product of chocolate cake quantity 3. Save. I need just 3 now. So now I want to render out this in my cards.html. So I'm going to go down to the views.py first. So I'm going to do something kind of different. Yes. So here's the cards views now. So what I'm going to do here is this. I'm working with the authenticated user, the logged in user. That's what I'm working with now. You understand? So I'm going to simply write if request dot user dot is authenticated dot is underscore authenticated. Make sure you spell this well. Authenticated. Okay, so I'm gonna create the customer now. If the user is logged in, all this if statement says, we're gonna create the customer attribute called. We're gonna create the customer equal to, say customer should be equal to requests dot user dot customer. This is the logged in customer. Understand? So I'm gonna so make sure. Okay, let's continue now. So now I'm gonna create a cart for this customer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say cart comma created. So you're gonna learn something now. Actually, this is most people don't use this before. You're gonna say cart comma created equal to. Let me increase it. So equal to carts. So I'm going to import the carts model here. So now carts comma created is going to equal to carts dot objects dot get underscore or get or create. You understand? So I'm trying to understand now what this get or create does is this. It checks our database and see if the user already has a cat. If the user has a cat, it's going to get the cat the user already has. But if the user does not have any cat, it will create a new cat for the logged in user. You understand? It's going to create a new cat for the logged in user if the user does not have a cat. But yeah, if the user already have an uncompleted cat, a cat that has a complete status of false, it's going to retrieve the cards. It's going to get the card. But if the user is a new user, the user does not have a card, it's going to create a card. That's what it does. And our cards model here has some attributes. It has this customer attribute and the completed attributes. So I'm going to use these 2 attributes in the view. So I'm going to do this now. I'm going to say cards, comma created should be equal to card.objects dot get or create customer, which is the attribute I have in my model.py. Customer should be equal to this current logged in customer, which is this person here. Not be equal to customer. And comma, I'm going to put in the complete status there. Complete. I can't remember what that is. Is it complete or completed? Okay, completed. I'm going to say completed. Going to be placed as false. Going to be equal to false. That's it now. So now I'm going to create out the items we have in these cards. I want to render out the items we have on these cards. Now, we already created the cards. Understand? And I have placed some items in the cards for this particular customer that is logged in. You understand? So I want to get out those items. So I'm going to simply say cards items equal to, I'm going to say cards. These cards we have here, into the cards that is already pointed here, going to be equal to cards objects underscore sets dot all. Understand? I know most people be confused with this kind of set what we are just did here. If you notice, I'm not just it's gonna be cat dot cat items, not cat dot object. Sorry, cat dot cat items underscore sets dot all. What I simply did here is that I'm rendering out. I'm getting out the cat items I have in this particular cat. Understand? So this is how we do it. These are if you are trying to render from, let me say, parents to child, from the parents to child model. The parent is the cat, and the cat items is the child. I'm trying to query from parents to child. Understand? From our model to spy here, which is this. You can see the cards here. The cat is the parent, which is the one, and from the many to one relationship. The cat is the one, which is the parents. You can see here. I'm trying to simply say cat items. I'm trying to get out the. I'm trying to get. You can see there's no cat item in this, in the cat model. It's in this. It's an independent model on its own, whereby I connect the cat model to cat items, and the cat is the parents of the two. So now, out for you to do something like that, for you to query from parent to child, you simply have to do what I just did here. Here the parents, the child, and the set dot or the child in a particular parent. Understand? So that's it now. So now I'm going to simply pass this into my. I'm going to really pass this into this context here. I'm going to put in the cat items. I'm going to say cat items. Oh, what's happening? Cat items should point to the what we have here. This cat items you have here. Oh no. Cat items we have the cards items. So that's it now. So now I'm gonna get down to our store, to our cat.html, and render out these items we have here. So I just hope we do not get any error message. I'm sure we won't. But let's proceed now. Okay, you can see here's our cat.html. So this is where we have the cats. This is the section for the cats items. Here's a section for the cat items. I only need one of all these here. So I'm going to remove all this table row, remove them and remove this. I only need one of you. I'm going to run a for loop on them, and it's going to generate as many as I have in the database. I'm going to say for item in cats items. I'm going to end the for loop. Always remember to end your for tag. I'm going to say end for. Okay, so now I'm going to pass in the image here. The cats, the image is going to be here. It's going to be item dot products. Our cat item. Our cat item model, we have the product attributes here. So I'm going to say dot products dot, oh no, dot the image here. Understand? That's all we are doing. Cat dot product dot image dot URL. So we're gonna pass in the cat's name, the product name here. Let's say item dot product dot name, and the products what should be here. From let's see what should be on the, so my browser is coming up, so I want to see what's going to be on that third. Oh, never mind. So I remember should be the price, item the product dot name here should gonna be item the product dot price, paste here. Okay, and what do we, and here should be the total, so I'm gonna simply paste same thing here, put price here. So save now, and let's see cart page. I'm gonna keep our cart page now, so refresh. Oh, I'm having this error. You know why I'm having this error? This because for my views.py, this error should not have occurred. I don't know where I logged out from the server. I did not log out. So refresh this. So I'm gonna log in again. That error occurred because I am logged out. So let's log in. So I've logged in back again. This error we have here occurred because I am logged out. You can see it says local variable cat items referenced before assignment. It means that we've not yet created the cat item variable, and we are already referencing, we are already saying it exists when we've not created it. So if you look in my views.py file here, in my views.py file, you can see I said this cat item is going to be only available if the user is logged in, because from the condition, the condition states that if the user is logged in, we have cat item. But if the user is not logged in, cat items does not exist. You understand? Now that's why this error, this unborn local error, you can see local variable cat items reference before. I don't know how I managed to log out from the admin section. That's why this error popped up now. If I refresh the page, it's going to disappear. Perfect. You can see now we have our cart page with the products, the t-shirts, the name of our products, the price. Okay, I didn't put in the quantity. Let me put in the quantity. I'm going to look for that cart.html. Okay, here is the page. Here is it here. Okay, I'm going to create a new attribute called value. Value needs to be here. Value should be equal to, I'm going to say item dot quantity. So save. Okay, we have the quantities now, 213. Understand now? So we've been able to build the home page and the cat page. So now what we need to do now, you can see now, if you see, we have the price is 11, the quantity is 2, the total is still 11. That's wrong. It should be 2 times 11. It should be something like 22 point something. This should be 20 point something. It should be 60 point something, not 20.55. So we need to go down to the, we need to go and rectify these issues we are having. Yeah, so I'm going to go down to my models.py. My models.py file now. So I'm going to create a function under the cart items. A function. Understand? You know, I said you need to get the actual value of the total, not this dummy data we have there. It should not be 11. It should be 11 times 2, 11, 10 times 1 for the second one, and 20 times 3. You understand? So now I want to get the, so I'm going to write a function here. So I'm going to simply call this function get total. I'm going to simply say def get total underscore total. So I'm going to give it a self and this. So I'm going to create a variable called total, and total is going to be equal to the price of the item times the quantity. Understand? So I'm going to simply say self refers to the self refers to self is just like refers to the instance of this item class. Instance self refers to those created objects and it refers to a particular one. So I'm going to say self dot quantity times the product price. I'm going to say self dot product dot price. That's it. So I'm going to return total. I'm not going to say return total. So save now. So I'm going to put a decorator on top of this. I'm going to simply put at property. So now this function we have here is going to be seen as an attribute, just like the way we have the cat, the product, the quantity attributes. It's going to be seen as an attribute. So now I'm going to save now and get down to my cat.html now. I'm going to simply I'm going to put in this is the part here. I'm going to put in item dot get underscore total, name of our function. So save. So the browser. So now we're going to refresh the page and you will see it's going to work. So refresh. You can see now it's working. You can see we have 10 times 11. You can see it's working. But here we are getting the real values. But you can see here we having this long decimal. I want it to stop at 2 decimal places, 2 decimal points. So now I'm going to get down here. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use the template filter tags. So I'm going to in this get total. I'm going to simply put in the template filter, which is this. I'm going to put in float formats. I want it to be 2. Float formats. It should be 2. So save now and let's see if there's going to be any change. Refresh the page. Perfect. And I can see there are also 2 decimal places. You can see 11 times 2 is 22.10, 10.55 times 1, 10.55, and the product, the chocolate cake is 20.55 times 3, which is 61.65. Okay, I can see it's working. So now I want to make sure this total we have here is correct. If you add up this together, it's not going to give us 42. So I'm going to make sure this total we have here is correct. So let's go do that for the total price also. Down to the models.py. So under the carts, we're going to do the same thing, almost similar. I'm going to copy this. Just copy, Control C, and paste just on top. Control V. So that's it. Total and not get total, just like we had for the other one. I'm gonna call it get cat total. Okay. So after doing this, what I want to do now is this. I want to get all the items in the carts. Understand? So I'm gonna simply say cart items should be equal to self. The particular cart created self dot cart items self dot cart items underscore sets dot all. Okay, so now I've gotten all the items in the carts. So now I need to get the total. So after getting the cart items in the carts, I'm going to loop through those cart items and get these total values here. Understand? I want to get these total values, the 22, the 10, and 61.65. I want to get the total values and sum them and add them up. That's what I want to do. Now I'm going to simply say total should be equal to. So I want to sum up the total item. I want to sum up this cart item total prices we have here. So I'll do that right now. I'm going to simply say sum, put in the square brackets. So I'm going to loop through the cart items. Understand? I'm going to simply say for item in cart items. Okay. So for item in cart items, so the item refers to the individual item in the cart. So I'm not going to simply say item dot get total. So now what I did now is I looped through all the item in this particular cart we have here. I looped through all the item in the cart. So after doing that now, I was able to get each of the item. So what I did now, after getting each of the item, which is this item I have here, I then got the total prices of those items. The total prices after these prices I have here. Understand? So I got the total prices of those items, and this sum lets me add them up. This sum function we have here lets me add them up. So now I'm going to simply save my work now. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to get down to my views.py file, views.py. So in my views.py now, I'm going to put in these cats in the contexts. Say cats should point to cats. So save. Okay, now I'm going to head down to my cast.html and simply put in where I have the, okay, I'm looking for, okay, here now, total price of the cats. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to simply cats dot get underscore cats total. So save cats dot get underscore cats underscore total. Understand? This is it now. So save your, can get down to the browser, refresh. You can see now the price has changed from 42 to this. So now I want to also put in that float format I did. So I'm going to put in the float format of 2. Float format should be 2. So save. I want to also change this to an h3 tag. It's too small. h3 should be h3. I need it to be big. h3 home, h3 save and fresh. Oh no, there's an error somewhere. So save. Perfect. You can see we have the actual price now in 2 decimal places. Also, I want to also make sure this is working well. The items we have on the cart is, we have 6 items in the cart, but what I'm getting here is just 3. That was wrong. So I'm going to do the same thing I did in my models.py. So I'm going to simply get up all the cart items. So now let's get the sum of the total numbers of items we have in the cart. So we're going to create a simple, we're going to create another function similar to this, Ctrl C. I'll simply paste this here and change this to get cart items, get items total, items total. Okay, so what I'll do now is that I'll, oh, I simply, this should be done in the cart model, not in the cart item. So I'm going to cut this from here and go down to the cart model. Should be done here. So I'm going to simply I want to get all the items, the cart items, Ctrl C. I'll paste that here. So now I want to sum up the, so after I've gotten all the cart items, so I want to simply get the total of the quantities. So I'm going to simply say sum. So I'm going to loop through the cart item again. So just simply copy this, loop through it, Ctrl C. I'm going to paste it here. So I want to get the sum of the items quantity, item dot quantity. So I think that's all we need to do now. So save your work now. So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, and get down to our HTML page. So where we have this 3 here, I'm going to change that to the normal value we should have. Simply say cats dot this, save now. So refresh the page, we should have 6 here. Perfect. Now we have 6 here. Okay, I think it's working now. And I said earlier before, if I am not logged in, this error we have here is going to pop up if I am not logged in. So let me show you that again. So I'm going to log out of this admin section. Log out. So I'm logged out now. So now let's see. So refresh the page. You can see the error up again. This error I said earlier, that it says local variable cart items referenced before assignment. It means it's saying that we are trying to access the variable called cat item when it does not exist. But actually, it does exist, but it exists only for logged in users. Currently, now there is no logged in user. I just logged out. You understand? So now I'm going to go down to my views.py to present something, even when I'm not logged in. So let's do that. So in the views.py now, under the cats function, you can see the command says if request.user.is authenticated, we have these variables there. These variables only exist if there is a logged in user. So I'm going to put in the else statements. I'm going to put else. Now this is for the user that is not logged in. This is for the user that is not logged in, the logged out user or the user that is not logged in. So now else, I'm going to create a variable called cat items. Okay, card items. I'm going to set it to an empty list. Understand? I'm also going to create a variable called, it should be called card items. And I'm going to create these cards we have here. You can see I have card items up here. I have for the logged in user, it carries out some data. But for this one, for the user that is not logged in, it's going to return an empty list. And the cards here, I'm going to put the cards here. I'm going to simply say cards should be equal to a dictionary. You can see from the cat.html. Okay, from the cat.html, you can don't worry, let's continue. I have this get total. I'm going to copy this get total here. Get total, Control C. Create a dictionary in the views.py. Now I'll paste in that get total and assign it to 0, comma, and I'll get the second one called get item total. Control C. Paste here. So I'm going to create a different one, and this should also be 0. So I think this is going to solve the problem we've been having, the issue of logged in user and no logged in user. So I think it should solve the problem now. So save your work now, press the browser and refresh. Perfect. So I see now if there's no login user, I'm going to return an empty cat. Understand? But if we log in, I'm going to log in back now, log in again. Okay, log in. So I'm logged in, get out of the browser again. So refresh this page. You can see now we have our items for the logged in user. You understand? So now if I get that, so I think that we are through with this video. We have come to the end of this video whereby we are able to like structure the home page and the cart. So in the next video, I'm going to create a system whereby users are able to add to carts by themselves. You know, in this video, I went to the admin section to create a cart and create cart items. But now in the next video, users will be able to add to carts, be able to add to their carts by themselves. Something like this. I'm going to go down to the store page. Store. Okay, now users can simply come here, come to the store page like this and click add to carts. The cart gets updated. They click, the cart gets updated. As they add to cart from here, our cart gets updated. You understand? So that will be in the next video. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, why not subscribe? Please subscribe to Coolest Clinton and help me get my channel to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate. We will meet in the next video. Stay blessed. Peace and bye-bye.